Oh, yeah, we're cracking open a Red Bull, sugar free. And I'm experienced enough now with energy drinks, I can tell you that sugar free Red Bull, as sugar free goes, sugar free Red Bull is the way. Oh, for a second there, we accidentally had four people. Yeah, we're going to talk about politics today. And then we're going to launch into some Marvel stuff and just general Q&A. So I want to first talk about 2.0. The second Trump administration, kind of fire. This is a guy who knows there's not a lot of time left on the clock. It's not because I'm old, I'm a stable genius. I said Nissan 3 times. I was actually talking about Nissan today, under the assumption that Nissan would take over the steel business from Nippon Steel. No, talk Marvel's games and movies, but Trump is on the executive order binge. I think what had happened here, they wanted to prop up Joe Biden, so they said, "Hey, let's give the executive branch a lot of powers. That'll be awesome." Because we have a weekend at Bernie's president that we can just kind of puppet into whatever we want. We want the trans White House flashing the implants, and oh God's sake, horrible sight. We want the women getting dominated by men in sports. They wanted all the diversity is our strength. You know, when you heard diversity is our strength at first, I don't think you quite it. I'm talking about like 10 plus years back, 15 years back, 20 years. Oh yeah, diversity. Yeah, it's because of the diversity that the United States wins the Olympics all the time. That's it. So Trump has gotten back in, and he is just executive order, boom, boom. Last I saw, just before starting this up, I've signed new executive order, getting rid of the papers. The problem with the paper straws is they don't suck. Plastic going forward. And so I don't think I ever had to hassle the paper straws, but maybe some of you who live in the wacko states, maybe some of you guys do. I also want to share that we are doing this kind of stream because I got fiber internet. Vaughn is on the fiber now. It's a diet. And I wanted to see if the picture didn't suck and if it didn't garble, if it came in clear, because on fiber, there is no excuse. I don't want to hear any crap from YouTube. Oh, I don't want to look back at this and see sentences cut off. And if that happens, I'm going to be right mad. Benjamin Netanyahu gave him a golden pager, so veiled threat maybe. I didn't see that part, but it would seem that way, wouldn't it? Like, hey, we messed with the pagers, load them with explosions by sending the American president a golden pager. Not saying it's booby trapped. It does send a bad message, doesn't it? Not a fan of Bibi. I've listened to Ben Shapiro the other day, and the only reason I check out his podcast is to see how he's manipulating people. So just a couple days back, and I need to find clips, but this was this week, which means I'm gonna have to sift through this a little. He's talking about how other Arab countries were not into the two-state solution over with Palestine, Gaza Strip. And then he started saying Jordan won't divide in half to take on the Palestinians. Egypt won't give up their land to Ben, you loaded prick. The two-state solution is not let's have other countries divide up to become Palestine. The two-state solution is taking something away from your precious Israel. That's the two-state solution, buddy. And he manipulates it into, yeah, well, you can see the other Arab countries, they're not under the two-state solution. But first, let me talk about my buddies over at ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter, what a tool. I despise this guy. He is loading everything up with weird talking points. Actually, to my shock, just as I was about to issue the challenge, can you find an episode of the Ben Shapiro show where he does not mention Israel? There was one a few weeks back. I think it might have even been like inauguration, where shockingly somehow Israel didn't get brought up in one episode. But that you know that like this USAID is funneling money to weird places so they could be worked in this weird laundering situation. Israel is sending money to the Daily Wire to have their talking points brought up unprovoked by Ben Shapiro. So we got news over here. Like it could be the Super Bowl. Like, seriously, when he mentions the Super Bowl, he'll say something about he's not a huge sports fan, whatever, and then somehow the subject will be brought back. It's like Skip Bayless having to talk about the Dallas Cowboys, relevant or not. That's Ben Shapiro there. Yeah, the paper straws went soggy after 5 minutes in Canada. I think I might have tried a paper once. I don't know. My misrecollection of trying a paper straw might actually be me watching like an episode of In Edition and them talking about it. Oh, paper straws. Well, this is the way of the future. Yay. Artistic Spartacus says, Cape shit has been a scourge on pop culture for too long. Who's Cape shit? Kate Capshaw? I hate it with the intensity of 1,000 suns. CGI and color grading too. It boils my blood. Cape shit. You mean just superhero movies altogether? Yeah. We're going to get into that in just a second. I want to say a few more things about Trump. I like that quote from Mel Gibson where he said, it's like daddy's come home and the belt's been taken off. He's ready to go to work. Dad comes home, and when you were a kid, was that, yay, dad? I think you're a little girl. It's yay, dad. If you're a boy, it's like, oh, mom's going to snitch on me. I'm going to get beaten for having an extra M&M, like all kinds of shit. That was the reality. If you were a boy and daddy's come home, fearsome, what was it, right? Did it strike fear in you? Because that was kind of the vibe. Totally the vibe. I know that Trump is limited with his space here. He's got 4 years. He has Doge on this quest, giving them a 2-year window to be efficient, to find all these problems. And they're 2 weeks in, and you could say mission accomplished. Couldn't you? Couldn't you say we've sorted it out? We found out where all the money is going. Mission accomplished. Trump is over here saying external revenue. I mean, it's like, what's to disagree with? He signs yesterday, gathers all the little girls around, doesn't smell their hair like a creep, and is like, hey, guess what? I'm protecting you from getting beat up by men. That's now. So it's pretty amazing. Yeah. What happened? We're doing the vertical live. That's supposed to be where all the people show up, and we have them, guys. Come on. Is my audio cutting in and out? Let me know. We will. One thing about that, I do like his press secretary. I think that's the hardest job in politics. You either have to lie or have the answers that you're allowed to share off the cuff as much as possible. Because if you look down your thick binder, it's not a good look. And if you have to circle back, not a good look, whether you circle back on camera or not. Super tough job. I don't know where they found this young blonde mom to do this, but I guess she must have been somewhat a staffer with Melania or something in the previous, Trump 1.0. Right now, that the concept of Trump bringing in his real estate mogul, hey, why don't we turn the Gaza Strip into a resort? Everything is a resort with him. If you think about it, this is Trump, the real estate mogul here. How that works out, probably not that feasible. I could see a DMZ being more appropriate. Just lace the whole area with mines. You don't go over there, I don't go over here. End of. Probably the better approach. They may have to do something like that. Have the U.S. Army stationed as bodyguards for like all the construction happen, right? Somebody's got to build something. I don't know how they're going to get to it. Have you tried Marvel Rivals yet? I did a review on it and hated it, but Marvel Rivals has kneecapped Overwatch, buddy. Half of my friend list that was playing Overwatch is now on Marvel Rivals all the time. I hadn't played Overwatch. I played Overwatch last night for the first time in 2 months. because I wanted to test my new fiber internet. Previously, a really good ping, 65 milliseconds. Now I'm at 44. Given how much faster fiber supposedly is, it's not exactly showing it in the latency, but I'm hoping this, what we're doing right now is coming in. You are skipping a bit, yes. Oh my God. That shouldn't be possible. I've got the latest Wi-Fi, the latest internet, 2.5 gigabytes per second, supposedly. In practice on the Xbox, I'm getting almost 2 bytes per second download speed. And on Wi-Fi, it should be about 200 megabytes up or down, and maybe 20 up. It should be plenty. This is ridiculous. Yeah, I saw about the derogatory term about the superhero. All the comic book slop we're suffocating with, totally. And I see, what is his name? Tote with the Melton face there for your thumb. I'm not looking forward to J.D. Vance post-Trump. I think he will go for the 1980s Christian grit. Yeah, I kind of see that. I kind of see it getting Evangeline Lilly up in here. Oh, how you guys like this light I got off to the side? I've got this great magic armor. I'm working on a video for that. I will have the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection on Xbox review will have to go up Saturday. I've been testing things out, and I got my mom and dad to play MVC2. So I had to get that so that I could put it in the video. And so yeah, trust me on this. I have not gotten my parts in from Hong Kong. I don't know how to pronounce this. It's Qanba. Canba? I don't know. But the Hong Kong outfit, they make silent levers and buttons for arcade modding. I ordered that, and then 2 days later, Trump says, you're not allowed to get stuff from Hong Kong. And then he sees that Marvel Capcom shadow dropped on Xbox and said, okay, fine, I'll allow it. I'm like, thanks, buddy. So that should be getting that next week. It's probably coming on I don't know, a week or two. I did get some artwork in to glossy up my thing. My stick should look pretty nice. I don't think Vance is coming next. I think he's going to be upset because Trump is going to find a way to be like, hey, I didn't get 2 consecutive terms. So I think that the Constitution, we could actually alter that, guys. So they call it an amendment. I'm making an executive order on amendments. He will find a way to run for a third term. That is my prediction. He will. You guys wanted more winning, right? You're not tired of winning yet? Okay, we could do some more winning. That's what I think will happen. I think he will find a way to twist something around, and then the liberal media will be like, see, we told you. He's a tyrant and he's not leaving office. Which, look, when you have FDR as your tyrant versus, you need your tyrant to go up against their tyrant. You need FDR to go up against Hitler, right? So it's not too bad if your tyrant's making good calls for it. So I like the way how he's getting to work, though. It's so having a president. Just when I was getting used to not having a president, we end up with a president. It's crazy. Yeah, so don't bet on J.D. Vance being here next. That's what I would say. Vertical Live is always very laggy for me, so it doesn't matter who you're watching. Christ. We're doing Marvel now. We're on the Marvel scene, guys. I'm about to do a trailer reaction. I have not watched the Fantastic Four trailer yet. Now, I've heard about the poster having eye artwork. That I think that's the case. They definitely cloned a face that they didn't need to. AI is probably less inclined to do that, but they may have used AI for some of the assets in the poster. The Red Bull's coming back up. Actually had some really good hoagie bun sandwiches tonight. So who's going to give me the real Marvel Entertainment with the check mark. That's what we're doing. All right, guys. You probably won't be able to hear this, but I'm going to be reacting to this, okay? And look, the other lives where I've done the trailer reactions have had problems. They've gotten copyright claims. So if we're going to do a live with a trailer reaction, it may need to go down like this. I am sorry. Amazingly, how come I get in trouble for the trailer reaction? And there are channels here of dipshits. Bread and butter is. Oh. Let's see what we got here.
Welcome to the Baxter Building.
We make a point to do family dinner every week. Sunday at 7 on the no matter what.
This has got like a early 60s City of the Future thing going. So is this not an origin story? Thing looks really good. They're not doing a Thing voice. I guess that could work. It's not like he got 2 feet tall. And Torch looks okay. What was he jacking off in his astronaut suit? What was that walking in on? That was creepy. They've got a car. I like their outfits. Galactus. Ooh. I just so happen to own a Fantastic Four number 48, first appearance of Galactus and Silver Surfer, so good news for me. They didn't show woman Silver Surfer, thank God. That could have been embarrassing. I'm sure they didn't want to quite pull that cord just yet, you know, like, okay, we got to ease people in on this, man. Because we're going to show them that woman Silver Surfer. Ugh, it's going to get kind of nasty over here. Yep. I hope comics will just start producing comics based on classical literature from ancient Rome and medieval era, etc. If I'm not mistaken, it seems as though Marvel and DC are having a very tough time with graphic novels, and that the leader of the graphic novel space is actually, the guys that did the book fair. Is that who is the book fair outfit? Not Penguin, Scholastic. That they like own the graphic novel stuff, so I think some things will turn. Like maybe we'll end up with a Bone cinematic universe or something. But I feel like this trend should have come and gone already, but because we had this weird lockdown situation and like no movies for a year, Hollywood is having a tough time going away from the bread and butter and trying to make adjustments. So we end up with stuff. Could look worse. That was not outright bad. I might go see that with my dad or something. He liked Fantastic for the Kid. Sue Storm, with all that Botox and injectables and all this other stuff. Jeez, I mean, Jessica Alba arranged to me as a blonde, but, you know, would... I don't know. And Pedro Pascal, can they not like change his facial hair? Like, is there a contract for this shit? Like, I have to have at least the mustache everywhere I go. Like, I don't know, man. We're not really filling that with box office stars. That's kind of good. You know, give everybody a chance to break out in a movie and show that they can bring receipts on their own. Though on their own being tied to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It sounds like they are doing a alternate version of the 60s, not something that, you know, Captain America with his got his shield from Tony Stark's dad. Like, they're not going to be involved in that. Like, this is an alternate thing. We're not doing a multiverse, such as more of a start the universe over, maybe. Maybe that's the way they're doing. I didn't mind it when the comic book stuff was more niche. And we act like, you look at all these dipshit young asshat YouTubers who are just like, the comic book movies hadn't really gotten going yet. Batman was the #1 movie of 1989. And you're telling me that the comic book stuff wasn't up. Yeah, okay. Superman and Batman were big deals. and you're acting like, oh, well, comic book. Spider-Man was a big deal in 2002. It got like $80 million in opening weekend, surprised everybody. And then you go, well, the comic book movies, they hadn't really gotten going until like Iron Man 2008. And it's like when the Dark Knight, no, you're full of shit, guys. This stuff's been going. When the comic books themselves were more niche was when they prospered because they knew their market and they told their stories to tell. And now they have to try to tell the stories for everybody. Disney buys Marvel, makes up a bunch of DEI Marvel stuff to put in the comic books, and then we get to the movies, they get that buffer of protection. But it was a comic, and so all the new girls that are taking over the male roles, Spider-Man getting the race swap, all that garbage is all so much more recent. It's astonishing that Spider-Man is allowed to be played by a white guy. It might actually be at Sony's prerogative. If it were up to Disney entirely, it would be Miles Morales as Spider-Man because they want to distance. They want to say anybody can be these heroes, even when it's more tied to one person's identity. They find a way, like, no, a black Latino guy who might be into dudes can be Spider-Man also. Say things like that. They'll put that out in a comic and then be like, that comic doesn't sell, but it exists to justify what we plan to do with movies. So you end up with situations like this. And are we at least glad that Sue and Johnny are both white so that they can be brother and sister? We have that going for us. Are they not dealing with Doctor Doom first? They're just going to jump straight to Galactus? Kind of okay with it because we've probably done Doom bad, or trying to distance other versions of Doom, or try to squeak out the origin in like a tiny scene here to be like, just in case you weren't aware, but not have this be an origin movie. I don't know about the steps. You think that's going to play into the plot? It turns out the first steps were Galactus. I talk about my first steps on the planet when I smash it, or like it'll be something like that, right? Like first steps will be misleading, and that's why that's the whole thing here. Producing, the skipping is minimal. It helps. I blame your basement cave. I have really good Wi-Fi in the basement cave in the studio. JD Vance has crashed. He crashed his truck. JD crashed? Is he allowed to drive? Are you saying he was in a car wreck? I don't see anything about a JD Vance car wreck in the news. So maybe not. I don't know. Can't believe how choppy this is. It's like 12 frames per second. Oh my God. Is the audio at least good? Because part of why I was doing it the other way was the audio was so bad. I look back at the clips and be like, look, on my end over here, I've got the interface and everything, and this looks like crystal clear. But then it goes through YouTube's garbage. You're saying the crash won't be coming out? It won't be coming, huh? He secretly crashed his truck. Fantastic Fits were okay, and Johnny's fire was good. We saw a very limited amount of the fire, but I think it looked to me like on fire, he will look better than Chris Evans, who as a fire, as Human Torch, not so on it. Was good. Sue Storm leaned away from Mr. Fantastic, so no chemistry with husband. I'll have to look at that again. I don't know why they went with her. Hey, you know that girl who's like 20th down on the cast list in a couple of Mission Impossible movies? That's who Sue Storm need to be. We can't find another blonde girl around who might be of appropriate age. They probably wanted Sydney Sweeney and thought, we can't make her look the right age for this. She needs to look like she's late 20s. But and though she kind of is getting there, it's just I don't know. It's not. It didn't really work out. I would say the worst casting of the whole bunch is Vanessa Kirby. New Jurassic Park trailer looks satire. And not, hey, let's watch that trailer, you guys. Hey, I need some memberships, guys, very badly. The whole channel is propped up on Amazon affiliate sales. So click on my Amazon affiliate store, then go buy whatever you're buying on Amazon, and I'll get a penny. But I need those memberships. I have stuff coming out. I watched an anime series. Shit. And it is so sexually graphic. I can't possibly give you guys a not paywalled 8+ video. It's about a hitman with a tattoo, and then it turns out every girl in the whole thing it also has to get that too, and they run around naked as hitmen, and it was crazy. But now things are coming. We're making progress over here. Need to see some memberships come in. Let's go ahead and do some Jurassic World. What do we even call that? What's the name of the movie? Jurassic World Rebirth? Not appealing? Ah, jeez. Do we really have to watch this, guys? Oh my god. Female Silver Surfer is still going to be in the movie. Yeah, but they don't want to show her yet. They don't want to give you too much, They want to be like, ugh, we may have made a mistake on this female Silver Surfer thing, but let's just not have it in the promotional material just yet. Julia Garner from Wolfman, who, by the way, look, I've seen the ads for that and thought, your husband, is that your daughter? You look 18 and you have a teenage daughter. Like, am I missing something here? Like, how old is this broad supposed to be? Like, geez. Let's catch up on that, guys. Let's watch some Universal Pictures. Ooh.
This is Zora Bennett, mission specialist. Sorry, what mission? This would be a medical breakthrough that could save.
Is Scarlett Johansson's name Zora?
Comes from the largest dinosaurs on the planet. My God. Fortunately for us, all these species exist in one isolated place. Can you be ready tomorrow?
I can guarantee your safety. More or less.
More or less.
Guarantee your safety. She's doing the Black Widow thing. Action chick.
We're the best at moving things and people in and out of places they shouldn't be.
We look towards Barbados. Avoid government patrol, but there aren't that many anymore. Why's that? No one's dumb enough to go where we're going.
Load up your trank guns, I guess, right?
For the original
We need DNA from the 3 biggest dinosaurs.
How many shots are we going to get in the same field?
I suppose we could
She's rappelling down the cliff.
maybe we should make it quick.
Is it a Jurassic Park heist film? Oh, this guy's in trouble.
These dinosaurs were too dangerous for the original park.
They were too dangerous. Brought a kid with us.
The worst of the worst. We're left here.
Oh, a lot of fade to black there. A new era. Ugh, that's a threat.
We put ourselves in a place we don't belong.
Did I miss? Was that a giant gorilla in there? In something? Like I thought I saw like a giant gorilla.
They're helping the mosasaur defend territory, stalk, hunt.
None of what you just said is good.
Oh, just let Scarlett Johansson die early here, guys, so that we can continue the new trilogy without her, please. Jurassic World Rebirth. Oh jeez, and it's coming this year. Ugh. Am I wrong, or did we only start hearing about this movie like a few weeks ago? Like is the turnaround time been shortened for things? Like, what's happening here? Blade 1 and 2, and Iron Man, Captain America 2 and 3, Avengers 1 and 2 were the only good Marvels movie. I would say only good Marvel movies. Look, this is going to be controversial. I'll say Iron Man. I'll say Thor. I'll say Thor 3 and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, as it's retroactively called. I would call those the only good Marvel movies, but here's the problem. They don't have any great movies, and it's the biggest franchise. At least Star Wars had a great movie or two, right? Now that we've seen how shit it's gotten, can you guys get off the back of the damn Ewoks and be like, the Ewoks ruined Star Wars? No, they didn't. The Ewoks were badass. When that Ewok died, and then you had and it just went limp, and the other one was like sad for that. That was the most scene in all of Star Wars, right there, buddy. That was, as they call in the hood, the shiznit. The lag is so bad. I feel like I'm watching a webcast. Yeah, I hate the way this ends up looking, but here's the problem, guys. When I've tried to do better lives, no one watches. When you do the vertical, oh man, I'm looking at it. Yeah, the frame rate's just all over the. I don't understand it. It does look like a web. Why does this look like a webcam from the 90s when every cam girl is almost in 4K? And this is YouTube. I got the best setup you can possibly get for a vertical live, and this is what we got. Make it make sense, YouTube. In fact, I think it just kind of yeah, that's sad. Jurassic World Rebirth. A new era begins. That's a threat of a trilogy. All cool action will be done by Scarlett Johansson. That's a certainty. She will not really be the expert on everything, but talk down all the men because that needs to be done. She's going to be a stunning and brave girl boss. But Stunning and Brave Girl Boss lost the election, and they already had this movie made, and they're just, oh Jesus, what are we gonna do, guys? What are we gonna do? I could find no evidence of Vance crashing his truck at all. Audio is good. Hey, if audio is good, I'll take it. Isn't it weird how not laggy it was when I actually had a guest for the live together, but then when it's live alone, it's trash? I don't know. Okay, hold on. Lots of people hate Pedro Pascal's Mr. Fantastic. Personally, I don't really. It doesn't bother me outright. It seems weird that they cast Jim from The Office and then didn't make use of him. Doesn't it? Isn't he available? He was Sexiest Man Alive, but then can't catapult that something so much, for the thing. But I mean, you could have had the 1-2 punch of him and Emily Blunt. And Emily Blunt is a blonde. She's one of the better actresses, like one of the more versatile ones going. But she is slightly older. She's a few years older than this Kirby gal. But maybe for a movie or two, won't look 40-ish. You might have tried sooner. This could have worked better. But, I think that at least you could have had some chemistry between them, right? Something could have worked. Julia Garner, date of birth, 1994, which puts her in 30, but does she not look hella damn young? And, oh God, I don't know, man. Should I sell my Fantastic Four number 48? It's in a safe somewhere, but I don't have it on hand. Only comic on hand out is my Hulk 180, which I think I can reach. I can reach from here, yeah. Jurassic has been part of the MCU since 2015. No, it hasn't, because it's a Universal thing. You can't cross-pollinate like that. Did you watch Maloney Mack have a meltdown over? I think I know who she is. I've seen her appear on other grifter channel, the grifter conglomerate, right? How they all talk about nothing and shit. That all their content is react and talk about what things that they are assigned to hate together. And she had some stupid take a month ago that kind of People going, what? And I can't remember what it was, but you know, she might have been called Ray something. I don't know. It was something dumb out of nowhere. She had a meltdown over Marvel Rivals booties, but fangirl for Tomb Raider. But she fangirls for the new Tomb Raider, which is like flat everywhere. But you see, these people, they test what direction the wind's going. Clickbaity titles. They can't say Marvel Rivals review. It has to be like, you won't believe what they just did. And that's like the title. And it's like, well, I gotta find out what they did. I'm gonna click on that. And that's their whole operation. And then they say the things that the base is going to agree with. Correct or not, that's what they do. And she said, you know what? The people who watch me, they're into hot chicks. She thinks she's a hot chick. So I need to complain about the lack of hot chicks in games. You got Psylocke doesn't have booty? Come on, guys. And so they say stuff like that. And that's your average YouTube grift troll right there. There aren't many people in the YouTube space talking about this stuff that are experts on the subject. Like a lot of times it's like, are you a cute girl and you can kind of play a video game for a second? Be a streamer. Oh, you suck at games? Doesn't matter. React to being scared, right? Oh, we've got Ace. Oh, Dan retracted a statement here. I didn't know. Okay, look, here's the thing. It's not that I didn't like Blade 1 and Blade 2. They're not quite good enough. I had a Blade trilogy I was going to do. I actually got all the clips. You know what? Maybe I will get to that. Because I captured all the clips a long years back. Went the slow way without the Mac, but like stick the USB thing in around 2020. But I put Blade 1 over Blade 2. I think Blade 2 is fairly overrated, but they both walk all over Blade 3, obviously. But I don't quite consider them good. They're just not. There's way worse out there, sort of. Eric, how's it going, guys? If you subscribe, you get a weird-looking AI-made pendant. Eric, let me know. Should I default those to like YouTube defaults, stars, until I come up with something better? I don't know. All these new celebrities. I don't know who Blake Lively. Come on, you know who Blake Lively is. She's in that show all the girls watched about rich girls infighting with each other. What was it called? Caddy Chick, something like that. Like not Caddy Shack, but Caddy Chick. Yeah. JP drifted into MCU territory once Chris Pratt got his grubby paws on it. Ah, interesting. Yeah, that's a possibility there, right? Daniel, quit erasing your messages. I can't read them in time. Melanie Mac fangirls for old school Tomb Raider, the new one. She hated the new stuff. Are we sure of that? So was it new to hear that was complaining about her first? The trouble with the old Tomb Raider is it's like Art the Clown and Terrifier. The guys behind Art the Clown actually said, like, the whole plan is we have to have an iconic costume and then people will go to the movie. The plot does not matter. Production value, as long as the costume's iconic, that will sell the horror tickets. And it worked. With Tomb Raider, I honestly think the only reason people like the old Tomb Raider games is because of what they think Lara Croft looks like in the promotional material. She looks like ass in the game. Oh, but on the cover, you know, like the representation she got in the media and commercials and things sold the game. And it was like, great character. So that's why they like that. Daniel says, good afternoon from Australia. There was a Blade 3? Exactly. Yes, I know there was, but I choose to forget. We all do. It was weird. And it had Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, his name Hannibal in it. There were things that were not too awful. I thought Whistler actually dying was shit because we spent a lot of time trying to save him. And it's like, knocking out, screw it. Oh, I have a hot daughter you didn't know about, probably. And it's like, okay, whatever. Blade did the bullet dodge, Matrix copied that. Not exactly. You see, I was under the impression if by letter of the law, sure. It doesn't break down into true bullet time though, because it didn't have the array of cameras. But almost every instance of copying bullet time has been a far simpler CGI bullet meets of some more CGI characters. In hell, in a lot of cases, they probably don't even bother with a lot of, actual animation. There's so much bullet time happening now. Anytime someone freezes so that they can spin around a CGI bullet, that's bullet time now. It's not so much dodging the bullet. It's more like the bullet comes out of the gun, camera spins around the bullet, and then you're supposed to be impressed. When they did that in the second Pirates of the Caribbean, I was like, oh my God. And that was what, like 2005 or 6? I mean, and it felt old hat then, right? Oh yeah, I got a thing. Detlef Shrimp jersey. No, yeah. It's Kevin Durant, rookie year. He seemed forgotten recently that he played for Seattle. He was drafted by Seattle. And he goes around talking about how you don't have to be loyal to a town and all, ever, because you don't have to be loyal to a town as a player because the team ain't loyal to the players. And it's there is a lot of manipulating the audience in the NBA. You have to be loyal to us, or if you don't, we're gonna move, right? Vaughn, Linkin Park is just Adele for millennials. Agreed. Give them a try, and it's like you half of a Linkin Park song, and then you get into like the piss poor rap section of it, or you thought hey, maybe that had a good music video, and then you look and it's like cringe. So yeah. And Linkin Park was pretty big when I was in high school. Or high school music when I was in high school was not that great. It was like Limp Bizkit Limp Bizkit shined like, freshman year. Like they were like a late 90s to early 2000 thing. Probably maxing out I don't even know if people were talking about them by 2002, to be real with you. But the scene in music was not pleasant. We were not doing good with music at the time. Man, Nelly was really big. I think It's Hot in Here was almost like my senior song or something. Or they wanted it to be, but it wasn't allowed. It was one of those situations. She was a triangle mess, but promotion material made her hot. Yep, that's Lara Croft for you. Ryan Reynolds was good in Blade 3, but Jessica Biel, mixing up my Jessicas. She sucked, huh? See, the vertical live, I get viewers, guys. So which is it? Do I get viewers or do I make a better video? That was Frost avoiding a cartoon bullet from Roger Rabbit. Not the same thing as the Matrix. Yeah, the cartoon bullet from Roger Rabbit. That's a good way to break that down. Yeah. The true bullet time, very seldom replicated. I'm wondering, they even spoofed it in Scary Movie, or was it more of a lift someone up and then spin one camera? Or was there some CGI? I haven't seen Scary Movie since 2000, since it came out in theaters. So I'll look back at that. Yeah. True bullet time, man. Boy, did everybody try to do their parody of bullet time, for laughs or not. Now you say Matrix could Wing Commander, you might have some. Did it? I think there was a Wing Commander 3 starring like a Chewbacca-like guy and a Han Solo-like guy that was actually played by Mark Hamill, if I'm not mistaken. Live action CD-ROM type game, circa 94, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. Kevin won't go back to Golden State Warriors because Draymond. Do you blame him? Draymond is a dipshit. I can't believe this guy is allowed in the league. Dennis Rodman is like the biggest problem in pro sports in the 90s. He's wearing a dress. Can you believe he kicked a cameraman in the crotch? Oh my God. Now we routinely have guys blowing red lights, killing people on the street, getting almost away that you got 3 years in jail because you're a talented wide receiver. Bullshit like that, right? Most of the NBA right now, I wouldn't introduce to my kids. Like, they all look like thugs. They talk like they have Down syndrome. Their skills are not that impressive, except for a very few players. And then you have laziness, and it's like Jimmy Butler over here. He flexed lazy, and the Golden State Warriors said sold. Oh, you just want, you're one of the guys that doesn't get paid enough, so you sit out. We want that on our team. Sending a great message to the kids. Guys, hit the like button for Christ's sake. Come on, what am I doing? You gotta spam some likes, man. Let the likes flow like a mountain stream. Yeah. New to here, triangles as in polygons. No kidding. Yeah, I mean that's triangle mess. I thought you would have picked up on that. Come on. Good call on Wing Commander. Never played it myself, but I take Linkin Park over Billie Eilish. Oh, let me think about that. I've listened to Bad Guy far more than I have any Linkin Park song. Duh. Rat Races, oh my God, it's Smash Mouth defines, oh. Yeah, All-Star. All-Star got some spins in high school. Sorry, guys. And it was the first thing I Googled. I had an assignment, and it was like, what? Write down the lyrics to your favorite song. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to pick my favorite. If I pick something from the 80s, kids are going to make fun of me. I need to pick something new. How about All-Star by Smash Mouth? And this was like in '99. It was featured. The music video was Mystery Men. So this was like a mystery. Now everybody associates it with Shrek from 2001. But that was the first thing. Google, whoa, hey, yeah, I've got the song lyrics and everything. Like, this is pretty. Everybody else had Netscape and shit. AOL. These guys, their search engines, what were they giving you? Results. Do you remember searching on the web before Google? Like it was almost like you had to know where you wanted to go, almost like you had to have the URL read or you wouldn't get to something. Like, it was insane. It was nuts. You know, we romanticize the 90s. I was taking the trash out the other day. I don't have a good example here. I've got this Walmart bag with some trash in it. Okay? Do you remember taking the trash out in the 90s before Glad had those blue? Glad or Hefty now, they both have these. This is probably really loud. They had they have those ties built into the collar, right? And you pull that up and the whole bag collapses together and there's something to tie. In the 90s, you had bare trash bag like a brass sack from the grocery store. There weren't handles, and then you had to try to find a way to pull it. 90s may not be all we thought it was, guys. Like, pop culture wise, superior, and in part, maybe the effort you had to put in to survive in the 90s. You had to play something to be cool. You couldn't just gain a following talking on a phone, right? Like, you had to put in this weird effort, and that made the culture better. Yeah. Okay. My sister is watching a show called Yellow Jackets. I've thought about that. It gets recommended to me a lot. Every time I turn on Paramount Plus, I don't want to see a live with, androgynous chicks or something. I don't know. I told her to look up Intro to 120 Minutes on MTV. The music was identical to the show. Well, that takes place in what time period? It takes place sometime back, right? So is it like a late 90s plane crash? Years later, we don't want to talk about what happened. Anytime you give me this, we already know someone died and who killed them, to to spoil things, you present something with drama instead of earning it. Like, oh, you're going to watch the whole show because you got to figure out this mystery at the start. When in actuality, they just lead you on. Like J.J. Abrams, Damon Lindelof. We don't really need to explain it. People just like the fact mystery. Shit. No, people expect damn well that their mystery adds up. Yeah, so but anytime they give you that split narrative, past, future shit, or the present and the past, you know who's alive, and then they'll be like, oh, well, we'll throw you a curveball. She stole her identity. We really told you that one with this soap opera writing skills. Shit, yeah. Oh, New to Here and Daniel are throwing down. You guys, both of you. What, Daniel? What is the exchange rate in Australia that's stopping you from becoming a channel member, buddy? Come on. You go and you harass me on Instagram about these creepy plans to acquire Funko Pop dolls of former WWE divas. I'm like, what about me says I need to hear about this, bro? And you're like, I don't know either. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. And you're not gonna be a member? Come on. Yeah, I mean, I'm not familiar with this term. He's from Australia. On Australia, they say a lot of weird shit. They say things like everything has like a antithetical contraction to it. It's like is it Australia where they don't say sunglasses, they say sunnies? Like cool shit happens, right? They say that's not a knife. This is a knife. You know, shrimp. I heard that you don't actually say shrimp on the Barbie. It's like you call them prawns instead of shrimp. But it caught on because Paul Hogan said it in a commercial. It caught on elsewhere. Am I wrong? By the way, I'm assuming Paul Hogan is like king of Australia, right? Like Paul Hogan would be like, at least like Sylvester Stallone is to here. That's Paul Hogan to you guys, right? Wing Commander, oh, the movie with Freddie Prinze, Matthew Lillard. Man, those guys used to seem like they were teaming up a lot, didn't they? They were a bit of a they had a bromance for sure. It also had that tall girl. The last I saw her, her name was Hand in Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And she got killed. Fairly new comic book character. Yeah. Saffron Burrows from Deep Blue Sea. Yeah, I think she was in that. I never saw the Wing Commander movie, but yeah. And it had a bullet time scene, didn't it? Wasn't there like an explosion? And they showed it in the commercials or something. They did a bullet time thing also in Lost in Space with Joey Friends. You forgot, Vaughn. 90s had Xavier McDaniel and Vernon Maxwell. Same kind. No. There were not thugs outright. And you didn't run into a scary thug in the NBA until Allen Iverson. Once you got Allen Iverson in there, there's something scary about him. Like it seems like you could cross him and end up with a 9 in the back of the head. Once he got MVP, that was green light to everybody thug it up. This is what's working. Yeah. My favorite song is Wave of Mutilation by Pixies, UK surf version. Is that from like the Surfa Rosa album? The one with Where's My Mind? Am I on the right track? Can't badmouth Smash Mouth much. The lead singer died like a year. On this channel, that is cause to not badmouth somebody, bro. Oh, Eric is out here giving away the coin. You were taking the trash out and thought about Shirley Manson and Garbage. Yeah. Hold on. Did Garbage do The World Is Not Enough? I think they did. Yeah. 90s rule. Stop it, man. You've lost your virginity in the 90s. What are you, like 60 years old? Here you go. So hold on. The only tier. What happened? Oh, you bought 2 extra months. Okay, so it's not communicated that clear on my screen over here. It's like, okay, cool. somebody had been, who was it that was buying other people? Was it Dawn Wanderer was buying people sub uh, subscriptions or something? Yeah, Sonny's, we shorten yeah, everything gets shortened weird. And I have another Australian friend on Instagram, and every time she posts something, I'm like, do I need a thesaurus, like a dictionary, an encyclopedia, something to look up what you're talking about? Like, everything gets weirdly, things that Americans don't think to shorten get shortened everywhere. Like, we say college. We don't say university. They say university in like England, but then they will also say uni at play, and it's like whatever, right? In America, it is strictly college, full stop. And it's not like a Coke pop soda thing where it changes by region. It's only college in the U.S. Our economy is too shit to become a member. Guys, I don't know if you're aware of this, but Daniel is on a weight loss journey. You've been at this, what, about 2 years or something? He was over 500 pounds, and he is just over 300 pounds now. He is very close to getting under 300. Myself, I have gained about 20 pounds since Thanksgiving, and I don't need that. It's weird too because I'm drinking like the sugar-free, super low calorie, 10 calorie. I'm drinking the right stuff. I went like a good 2 weeks really getting off a lot of do and drinking things that had like Powerade Zero, Gatorade Zero, Red Bull sugar. Didn't matter. Weight just, it's like, well, I'm not even eating and I'm gaining weight. What is this? I wasn't exercising the right amount. I am now going to do about 60 minutes of cycling, and each time I work out, I am going to hit my tanning lamp, do a little bit of jaw exercising. I have a thing for that. I'll try to tone up the face some. I figure if I could do that at least, you kind of want to maintain like a respectable chin if you can. For me, the problem is if I hit 165, it is just like thrusted all in my face. My face looks puffy now. For a guy that's weighing like 162, my face is way puffier than it should be. That's why it's important that I try to get back in the like $140 range. Yahoo Serious is king of Australia. Nah, Paul Hogan's gotta be. I tried gifting a sub. I think I did it wrong. I think you might have also. I think you bought 2 months in advance. I don't know. US dollar 1.6. That's about what it is in Canada. Guys, okay, so look, I'm going to do a poll here. I do an occasional sneaker thing, right? So here's the thing. I've got a shot here at some Reebok Aztec, Reebok Battleground, black top Battleground Aztec. This is like the showiest 1991 street ball sneaker you can possibly imagine. It's used, and I'm going to try to get it at a reasonable price. And I just want to, it's used and probably half a size too big. I just want to know if you guys would be interested in something like that. There's not enough videos on them on YouTube. These are very, okay. When I say that this is the Sinbad signature shoe, you'll know it's exactly what it sounds like. Okay. So, yeah. Do you want me to pick those up or not? The problem is it's hard to be buying things to do videos on and a bunch of money thrown your way to try to recoup that or even enough views to make it worthwhile. I've probably thrown away a lot of money on animes, Blu-rays, and 4Ks in just the last couple months. It's bad because I got away from playing Overwatch 2 nonstop, And to fill the void, and it's cheap playing Overwatch 2 and not buying any skins. But to fill that void with incessively buying up anime and 4K releases, kind of on the more expensive side of shit. Especially when, oh, it's a steelbook, $50. Wait a minute, guys, it's a movie. Come and like, nope, screw it. If you don't want Disney Plus, you got to pay $50 for Wolverine. And that's the way they're doing you. Yeah. I got wrinkles now. My family doesn't get wrinkles. Fat crack. We got the fatty faces, man. I think Bluey is king. Oh, that I've seen that commercial come on when I was in a waiting room at a hospital, or not commercial, cartoon, Bluey. And I guess a blue healer, and that's why it's Bluey. But is that Australian? Is the dog supposed to be Australian? It didn't seem like much happened. When I was a kid, the cartoons chaos happened all the damn. Nothing was not chaotic. Now they sit around in a circle and go, "I'm feeling good" or something, right? Kind of nuts. Based on Bluey's popularity, it'd say, "I'm just watching Bluey. My niece is watching Little Pony now." By Little Pony, do you mean the brony sort, like Friendship is Magic? Or I think they have a new series that it works as a continuation. Friendship is Magic. Like the new generation is sticking to what was working, what revived the franchise, right? You guys voted no on the black. See, okay, so the issue is it was the one, what I was looking at was used. I cannot afford new Reebok Blacktop Aztec Tribal first of all, they kind of don't exist. You have to get them from like 1991 or the 2014 re-release, and they want like $500 something for them. I need to look at getting rid of my Yeezy. I have a lot of Yeezys I do not wear. Most of them don't fit. But yay, oh my God, how would I pull to go away now? It's not. Ye is screwing shit up all over the place. And it probably just like 2 days ago, I'm going to put my Yeezy 350 Turtle Doves that are a size 7.5. It was all I could get. And I thought I'd get it just to say I had some. They went up in price a little bit, but I could probably eBay list them for $330. And he ran his mouth like a dumbass last night into the morning. And now they're probably bricking. God, I've screwed up something, so I'm just gonna have to end poll here because I can't seem to get it to go away. Okay, Bluey's popularity missed. Yeah, I'm trying not to miss the comments here. Oh wait, how did I miss all those? The X-Files is probably the most 90s thing ever. Is it the most 90s? I've watched one episode, and for some reason, some kid was playing MDK on a PlayStation, and I think that the concept of the Chupacabra was like introduced in this episode in Western media, or like I hadn't heard of the term before. It was the one episode watched of the X-Files. Whatever happened to Don Mary? I don't know. Don Mary K, yeah. It kind of seemed like that was the same person. It was all like, what would you rather have, 1 million subs or 1 million? Who's hot? All the same kind of things. I hadn't really seen Dawn around, so don't know. Well, right on, brother. Yeah, 500 pounds to 306. Dan, you better get under 3. This time next week, you better be 299. I dumped Red Bull. I'm drinking Celsius. Here's the problem with Celsius, and I have a lot of Celsius also. They had a special a week ago. It was like you could get 5 cans for $1 a piece. Not a bunch. The special this week at my grocery store, Rockstar. You had to buy 10, but 10 cans for $10. When Biden was the president, this shit was never on sale. Celsius was around $2 to maybe $1.50 for a 12-ounce can, if you were lucky. Rockstar, routinely $1 a can. for a while ballooned up, and they were wanting close to $3 a can for that shit, and it's not worth it. But at $1, okay, we can go with that. And so I did. And it's terrible for you. It's got a tinge of battery acid, all the calories, whatever. Red Bull, on the other hand, I think genuinely tastes good. And I would certainly take the sugar-free Red Bull over the calorie or sugar-free Rockstar, which I did pick up a couple. Are you saying Celsius got you wrinkles? You ditched Red Bull and you picked up Celsius, you got wrinkles. Oh, the other thing about Celsius, they have the kiwi mango, grape, orange. You can't find a lot of grape or orange. It's all something has to have kiwi, something guala or guamelon or something. But the truth is, they are all tea. All the Celsius, when it boils down to it, they're using that tea extract caffeine, and they all have a tea taste about them. And Dwayne Johnson's energy drink, Zoa, same sort of shit. He wanted a lot of money for a can of Zoa, and no matter what it said on there, the aftertaste was tea every time. So it didn't matter what the taste was. Canada, 1.43, so it's the dollar's even stronger in Australia. Okay, I missed quite. I don't know how I missed that many. That's weird. My Australian friends are obsessed with Bluey. I just found out because it's still. When I started the jog vlog, after the first couple weeks, I was wearing some Brooks running shoes for a while. Until I was wearing Brooks until I got my mystery gray. So it might have been for almost a year. My mystery gray Ultra Boost in early, like March 2016, I think. And then I ran in those for a long time. Oh, man. And when I say long time, we're talking an ass load of miles on the Ultra Boost. I would stand by some Ultra Boost, guys. The original Ultra Boost, stand by that quality shoe right there. I have been wearing my New Balance 991A2 a lot lately, and I'm a little annoyed at the squeakiness. It seems like it just doesn't even matter what New Balance it is. All their high-end stuff is squeaky as hell. I have no idea how they explain that. The last quality running shoe I got was like the Top Dog New Balance running shoe, and I got them cheap because they were like, 10 months old, and they were sitting on shelves. I wanted like $300 for them with all the tech they had in them. They were really priced high, but I got them for like $100 on Nordstrom Rack. I think they squeak too, but those are the shoes I'm mostly using for walking my mom when I need to take her for a walk. And I tell her, you're kind of wasting my fitness time by not walking as far as you should. And now that I'm getting fat, it seems like I have to go walk also. But yeah, my Australian friends are obsessed with Bluey. Found out also 9 Anime. What about 9 Anime? Also 9 Anime. I guess I don't understand that. Sell your Blu-ray collection and you have personal value to it. Once I watched something, and I wasn't too terribly inclined to watch it again until recently. Now I actually do feel like occasionally revisiting some of these. But there are certainly some of these movies picked up that I don't have them in arm's reach. I don't really need to watch again except for to make fun of in a video, like Sudden Death with Jean-Claude Van Damme and a few others. But a lot kind of like went up in price after I bought them. I was super lucky to get a Steelbook, that new Steelbook release of Ninja Scroll, because all the other pre-orders got canceled. But mine was honored for some reason, and then people were wanting $500 for it. And now they're like, okay, fine, we'll put the regular edition out, but it won't be blue, Steelbook. And that kind of probably drives price down a little bit. There was a Vampire Hunter D, the original 85 movie. Got blue steelbook of that, and it shot up in price. Like, just some of the stuff, people want the physical media right now, and I can't blame them. I'm trying to watch anything. Okay, guys, look. Am I going to get to this or not in a proper video? I watched You're Cordially Invited on Prime Video. Will Ferrell, Reese Witherspoon. And it had a title for the video. It would be, I watched Cordially Invited and didn't hate it. It was better than I expected. It was. But, yeah, I don't know if I'll get to doing a video of that or not. I can't seem to get my TV to do high dynamic range proper in every scenario. So many of these modern streaming shows or movies, the streaming movies in particular, it's like, do I have to like bespoke calibrate to each damn movie? Red One on Prime Video was pitch black. You're Cordially Invited has scenes in an interior where I can't grasp, is anybody supposed to be yellow in this old house that they're gathered in for this wedding? Or is it better to be washed out? But if something is in 8-bit color, standard dynamic range, no problem whatsoever. But if you want the high dynamic range, sit down and calibrate your shit. I'm getting kind of annoyed with it. If you know, when you watch something in like Dolby Vision on your phone, on your iPhone, and probably on your Android too, you don't have problems with, oh, the color's off. The iPhone gets it right. But on a TV, it's like, I don't remember this looking like this. You know, like the Terminator's not supposed to be green. Like shit like that, right? Gee, the next advancement needs to be, you know, I really ironing out some standards on these screens. It's crazy. White Men Can't Jump is the most era. Those shoes I was talking about they're the White Men Can't Jump shoes. Now, I don't think I can reach my Piece de la Resistance sneaker right now. You know what? Do you guys want me to go grab my Top Dog sneaker? You know, the Terminator High from Nike. I mean, it's a high top, but when it comes to like bulky, huge ankle hugging high tops, the Reebok Black Top Battleground is like it was like the final word. It's the nuclear option on high tops. And because it has that kind of movie thing, it sort of fits my theme in a way if I have like the movie shoes in that regard. Not that I also have, I mean, I don't have like the Reebok Alien Stompers or the Nike Mag, the Future Part 2 or any of that, but series Outer Limits is really good. Which one? Black and white from the 50s or the weird one with all the naked people in the 90s? Celsius Blue Raz is amazing. I think I may have one of those. But I think most of the ones I see that have a blue about them also have some limited aspects. What's your all-time worst 90s movie? Mine is Ang Lee Godzilla. That's not Ang Lee. Ang Lee did Hulk, buddy. You're thinking of Roland Emmerich's Godzilla with Matthew Broderick. My God, that was... that movie is a masterpiece today. We have worse effects now when we don't build miniatures for shit, right? By the way, Roland Emmerich, obsessed with destroying the White House. Almost every movie of his features the White House getting destroyed. Seriously, like down the list, White House gets wrecked. Independence Day. Hell, Stargate, missed opportunity to do White House, right? But yeah, the White House, actually that Godzilla movie might be one of the few where the White House was spared. Yeah. Day After Tomorrow, 2012, you know, all that. Did he do Deep Impact? He might have done that shit also. You had Ultra Boost, amazing shoes. They were. No real problem other than they could get really squeaky on the surface at like a bank, like certain hard surfaces, like what the tile bank or something. Wet might be a problem with them with traction or whatever, but lots of breathability, super comfortable. It was the kind of shoe that you forget, and that's always a good place to be in, right? I finally saw Dinner with Andre 1981. There was a diner in like 1982, right? Really good. Hold on. I'm going to screen grab that so that I remember that movie up. Dinner with Andre. Okay. My mistake. It wasn't directed by Ang Lee. It was Roland Emmerich. Yeah. Okay. I probably said that 2 minutes before I said it. My comment recommending anime sites got deleted. Just the 9 anime site is there. Yeah, it said 9 anime. And I'm like, huh? You mean like Crunchyroll or something? When I subscribe to Crunchyroll, they have nothing I want to watch because all their stuff is the new digital animated chibi anime shit that also has 3D effects. They don't have the throwback stuff from the 90s that I'm more inclined to gravitate to, but I would sign up for a trial just to, use a code to get something off on some more Blu-ray at this rate, to pick up some Blu-ray on, the traditional anime that I want to watch. I didn't get the physical thing until last year. It is necessary. The streaming, seriously, it was Blu-ray collection consisted of one movie a year. Okay, I bought one Blu-ray in 2013. I got a second Blu-ray in 2014. My next Blu-ray was acquired in like 2023 or some shit. Like, I went a ways. Like, the streaming thing seemed fine enough. But now it does not. And even the Blu-rays that are not 4K with the HDR and all this, they seem to have a better picture. You seem to be getting more megabytes per second on the Blu-ray than what you're getting from most of these streaming sites, even when they say they're 4K and the crushed blacks and the colors look blocky. And then when okay, fine, I'll tone down the contrast enhancer and now everything's gray as hell. Am I the only person who couldn't see anything that was happening in Rebel Moon? Is that the grayest movie ever? Like, I would rather it be taking place in pitch black than to just be washed out gray everything. Like they should have called it no contrast. Like, shit. Get Retro Crush or Tubi for anime. Speaking of Tubi is where I watched Bubblegum Crisis, and I enjoyed it, and I actually bought the upcoming Bubblegum Crisis Blu-ray release because I figured that Tubi was kind of holding back on the picture quality. They cap at 720. So I thought, okay, this will look better Blu-ray, and they've got an upcoming Blu-ray release, and it shipped yesterday, which means I might receive it tomorrow and possibly all before the stream date. So I could have an early unboxing review of that, which would thus net me views. Quite possibly. I saw City Hunter Show and Crush Fun. I've watched a little bit of that at the start. It was kind of weird how it took a few episodes for his partner to die so that he could, like, adopt the partner's daughter into his scheme. Because I watched the Jackie Chan movie first, and she was kind of there from the start. You're complaining over cost. I'm helping you save money. I'll have to look at this Retro Crush. I know it comes up. It sounds like it should have some old anime, but in many of these cases, okay, look, I picked up. Oh Christ, I could kind of get up and reach it. Yeah, hold on. Actually, do I have that out? No, I don't. Yeah. Okay, no, don't have Demon City Shinjuku over there. It's behind me, but Demon City Shinjuku streaming in like HD, really good quality on Prime Video right now. Unfortunately, not every anime gets a good transfer to a site. Project A-ko looks amazing on Blu-ray. Looks like total trash VHS rip on Prime Video. However, Demon City Shinjuku is you're probably just as good off. You probably don't need to pay for it, but I picked it up anyway because I thought it was pretty good. And the last time I tried watching it online, the transfer didn't look that amazing. So they've done something there. You just never know what you're getting. I think HDR is a scam, says Atticus Spadicus. Quite frankly, the entire display industry is just Emperor's New Clothes. HDR at times can look really damn cool. I like the way how sun, lasers, fire, plasma can look like super authentic with the brightness. But then you have to wonder, is that chalked up to you having the auto contrast on high? And then how inauthentic are the rest of the colors? But you can only tell if the colors are inauthentic if you've seen the original movie. But then how did you see it? How, like this, you're cordially invited. I went back and forth with, should I turn the contrast thing off, then contrast enhance? If I do, now there's no colors. Is Will Ferrell supposed to look that way? Like, they don't shoot shit with key lights anymore. I guess they thought that looked too inauthentic, so now everybody's face is in shadow. And worse than that, I'm talking about universally, there's no light in front of you. Okay? And that's the way they shoot movies now. Because they're dipshits and they're lazy. And it's too much work to move the lights around for every take, I guess. Oh, hell. You move the lights around and try to match it. You even have the benefit of your shooting digital. How the hell did they pull off making any movies when they were shooting film, guys? They were shooting film 1981, Raiders of the Lost Ark. And it looks better than everything we get now. Alien, Empire Strikes Back, Raiders of the Lost Ark, 79 to 81. I don't think any new movie looks better than those three. Full stop. It's all ruined by color grading. Oh my god, yeah. Color grading is so overdone now that I occasionally forget to bring it up. It's like a bad score in a movie. That it does nothing to give them the emotions, sell the concept of what's happening in the scene, and it just disappears and you forget about it, and it's forgettable and it's bad, right? The color grading on that Jurassic World reboot was so overblown, trying too hard with the greens, trying too hard to make Scarlett Johansson look tan. It doesn't look like real life. We used to have movies that looked like people outside doing things because the sun was lighting them. Like, things like that would happen. And now we can't be bothered to leave buildings. And when we do, we have to set up a green screen behind everybody. Green or blue, whichever the hell. You get the idea. And then you end up with the computer's concept of what a color should be, instead of the very analog approach of the film and the chemicals saying this is the reading of a snapshot of time. Now you have someone sitting in a booth going, they weren't there shooting it, and now it's up to them, who was not there on the scene that day, trying to figure out what color is blue. You end up with a bunch of green people running around Jurassic World Afterbirth. I need to look up Rambo Ref for Life. I'm sure he probably made fun of that. Probably had a lot to say. A guy I think is one of the few honest people on YouTube when it comes to movie stuff. I don't feel like he ever is stepping words to try to please the audience. He has an honest take. Is it nuanced? Does he have all the talent of the other people who, ultimately are hiring out folks to edit their videos? Probably not. But I think there is space for honesty on this platform. Yep, I've said too, man. Movies are boomer media. They are. And that's where the theater has to adjust. The theater has to say, the teenagers are not coming to have TikTok in their pocket. So we have to revamp this around the boomer. One of my local theaters is kind of doing that. They've got a 21 plus area. It was the only auditorium showing Nosferatu. And that keeps the kids out, but they also double the price of the ticket. And it's not like because it's 3D and IMAX. They just say it's 21 plus and you're allowed to have alcohol, so we're going to charge twice as much whether you get the alcohol or not. So it makes going to the movie an event in that regard, but that is a way to try to play to the boomer crowd, and that could keep this thing going a little longer if they realize who the actual audience is for the stuff, right? Movies are dead. Young people don't like them. They don't. They're very much obsessed in their own thing. We don't have like this this zeitgeist used to have. The things happening right now, people are all so far into their own thing. There's not like events people are gathering around so much in pop culture. Do we have pop culture anymore, or are we just kind of in the culture? Things don't seem all that popular, do they? I remember when there was a cool, there's definitely been a death cool. Anything now can be described as cool or not at any given time for very little rhyme or reason. We don't have trends. We don't have trends that then die, and then you have to distance yourself from them. Like, I mean, I remember I had to get away from the Ninja Turtles because that was little kid stuff. Like, that doesn't happen now. Now it's, oh, well, you're in Star Wars as a kid, and you'll be in Star Wars for the rest of your life, along with the Pokemon or whatever. They expect to have lifelong fans now. Everything's crazy as shit. They don't have the attention span. They want real-time interaction. They want to be able to tip $5 to have Johnny Depp wink at them or say a line for them so that they can get a laugh, and then they can turn around and have their self in the picture with their phone, doing the little selfie thing. They want to be part of that experience. Yep. Can't blame the young people too much. The movies are not good. I think that part of why the movies are not good, and it's just a small part, but it's a part. They're trying not to play. They're trying to play for this big audience that doesn't exist. Instead of focusing on the cinephile, the movie buff, the learned reviewer, critic, they don't care about them. They care about this fictional audience of woke people that you go and you angle this sort of stuff. And they're like, how come we can't have a woke Superman comic? And it's okay, fine, we'll give you one. No one did. They don't speak with their wallet. They're very much into causing a stir because it brings them like personal gratification to be attentioned. The attention whore it out. We have to have something to protest. Okay, we got our way. Next protest, and then they have to go find something else. And that fictional audience right there they were chasing with woke Star Wars doesn't really exist. They burned them out. The people that were putting the money into seeing that last trilogy was the old hat Star Wars fans trying to get their kids to watch. And then realizing it's dead. And now that everybody realizes it's dead, there's probably no money to be made in a Star Wars movie. The budget will be too high to make the money back. Probably got your fill of Mandalorian and Grogu on Disney Plus, and don't feel inclined to now pay an exuberant fee to see them in the theater. So I'm not counting on a lot of good happening with that movie, if it ever happens. This might actually be one of those, let's take a page from Warner Brothers Discovery and do a tax write-off, never release it scenario. Oh, what are we saying here about Jan de Bont? Did you ever see The Haunting? 99 Jan de Bont, I think guilty pleasure might be a good way to describe that. I thought it was bad. It looked bad. It had a Owen Wilson pre-fame, kind of like he was getting the small roles at this time, right? Like he uh, didn't he have a small role in The Cable Guy? Like he was in movies where he's nowhere near the poster, right? That sort of shit doesn't happen for him till later. Actually, come to think of it, when is Shanghai Noon? That's probably really his breakout in 2000. Yeah, because 2000 he's with Zoolander. Though Shanghai Noon, that came out in the summer, right? I think later in 2000, yeah, you had so the kind of the 1-2 hit. But he got some laughs for Meet the Parents, so that was sort of stuff that helped him break out. But yeah, in '99, I think he's more of a that guy with the nose. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he gets decapitated by the fireplace or something. It struck me as a movie that wasn't particularly scary as much as it was cringe bad effects, and that took me out of the movie. But at the same time, it wasn't having fun with the concept either. Jan de Bont has lensed much better. He was the cinematographer for Cujo, pretty well shot, especially given the concept. It sounds boring actually, but that's really the kind of like diamond in the rough movie we don't have anymore. The movie where it's on paper, it sounds like it's crap, and then it turns out to be good. We don't do that anymore, do we? Kind of weird. Pop culture is ADHD and autism. Yeah. I have a working theory here that a lot of these single moms want to trans their kids because they used to be able to say, yeah, he has autism. And then that would get them some government money or something like that to help them raise the kid. But now that they need more money and they need someone else to like make the scapegoat, and it can't be their own bad decisions. So that it ends up with dad not around in the picture to be the scapegoat. Son becomes the scapegoat because I wanted a little daughter this whole time, so I'll make my little daughter. He's going to be my little daughter now. Am I wrong? Or is that how the transing of the kids starts? They didn't even know who Johnny Depp is. Well, yeah, they probably... Do the young ones care about the Avengers? I try to gauge a lot of that by see the kids dressing up as in Halloween. Trick-or-treaters were not coming so much as Avengers. They weren't. I didn't see a lot of the stuff I expected to see. I didn't see much of the Fortnite. Sonic the Hedgehog is pretty big with the kids right now. Spider-Man is perpetually big, but the Star Wars stuff is not happening. I didn't see a single Jedi or Sith this last Halloween, and that might have even been 2 years in a row. And this is a place where Darth Maul, pretty damn common, popular outfit for years, decades. So very bizarre. Yeah. I was just watching Gigi 1952 the other day. They're not making films for me, which is okay. If you got it on physical media, you can keep watching it. Except you gotta watch out for disc rot. Which reminds me, I do need to kind of like knock the bottom of the soles on my shoes, because I did have some shoes that went bad in my basement, which I thought was perfectly level, and yet somehow dried up or something. They crumbled, so I have to be concerned about the crumble. You don't want to pick up those like Air Jordan 4s and then find that the soles are, brittle like, and just like you step and then they crumble away. Oh my god, it's the worst. MV Generation was nowhere near as bad as correct. Though you get the feeling the MTV Generation was brash, rude, but maybe not so much unsafe. The MTV people, the MTV crowd, you didn't think would become terrorists, right? Now you have to be concerned that these kids are so disconnected from reality that they're going to, mow people down. So like, yeah, anytime you see a kid tall enough to cause problems now, it's scarier than it used to be, right? You used to run into young people and not, oh, they think you're not hip or something. Like that would probably be the idea. But now you gotta go like, which store is he robbing? Or okay, is it Arab with a backpack? I can't. Oh wait, it's a Native American. My bad. Like that's the kind of thoughts that go in your head. I was watching Brood in '82 last week. You mean the Brood? Because I've seen that. I think with the guy that was like the stable owner in 1979, Oliver Reed, or is there something else? Brood 1982. Yeah, I'm not. I think you might be thinking of the different movie or something here, buddy. I think thinking of the '79 film. It was a subliminal abortion tones, great film, but I watched that as it was part of like the Criterion Collection when that was available on Hulu. Not something that should have distanced itself a major streaming platform to become its own thing twice. Filmstruck and then Criterion on its own or whatever. I hate that. There should be more consolidation without prices rising on the streaming front. Because the way things have splintered off and increased in price, horrifically so, the streaming stuff could collapse and you end up with nothing. If the streaming collapses, they don't then go, well, let's print Blu-rays again. You just get nothing. So, because everybody's so divided up with their HD and TikToking that there's not enough money that's what they'll do, right? Yeah, what happens if streaming collapses, guys? It's just game over. We're like back in the 1960s where you don't own movies anymore. You catch them in the theater or you don't. Like, it get kind of nuts. I was referencing the actors in Avengers, not the movie characters. Well, yeah, regarding that, I don't think they're that keen on the characters. And would a kid today want to have to sift through the origin stories of all these characters? Or would they get bored with that and go back to Fortnite? Like something they can kind of do repetitively? Notice I said cast, not superheroes. Chris Hemsworth was one of the best castings since Reeves. I questioned his Thor on casting, but ultimately he did pretty good. The trouble is the movies don't always fit him. And I haven't actually, surprisingly, I like 1 and 3, but I haven't seen 2. But everybody said they hated it. But then again, everybody said that like Avengers 2 was the worst one. And it's actually the best one of the Avengers. Because it's not overstretched out. Okay, Quicksilver, not nearly as cool as when the X-Men use them. But it looks like a damn movie. It looks more static than the first film. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. But it also had really nice downtime moments, like Thor seeing who could pick the owner. And there was a good little bit where it looked like Captain America was moving it like a tiny bit. And Thor was like, nope, didn't move an inch. Yeah. Those like termite art moments for the Avengers in the downtime when they're not too busy. That was some of the highlight stuff of the MCU as far as the Avengers team goes. So, yeah, I would watch Age of Ultron. God, I do not want to have to sit through Infinity War or Endgame ever again. But if you guys need a commentary on that, maybe one time, maybe I'll take one for the team, get a Disney Plus subscription, rattle off all the commentaries I can while I still feel able, right? Because at some point, people are going to step back and be like, Infinity War and Endgame both ass. And when I say that to people, like, oh, you're just trolling. No, they're awful. Really, really bad. I heard Owen Wilson got really depressed in the late 2000s, almost self-deleted. Probably had roles drying up. It's really like that. MTV people just got sick of hearing how great the 60s were in Woodstock. Got a point there. In the 90s, there was a lot of the older crowd going, yeah, well, the 60s were better. That was a lot. There was a lot of that happening in the 90s. It's like, oh yeah, you think you know how to party? Well, Woodstock, and we had a real cause. We had a real war to protest. Like, there was things like that happening. Yeah, Eric, I think you were talking about the 79 movie, because I couldn't find an 82 Brood. If streaming collapses, we have books. Man, to be able to slow down and read. I have, and I need to get to it. I've got a few graphic novels I've been meaning to get to, or collections of stories from magazines. Or I've got the several first run of the Ninja Turtles in a collection. Let's see, was that Volume 1 Compendium, I guess? I need to get to that. I got to get through this Inkle, and I was going to do videos to promote them on Amazon and stuff, and it's just like other shit's happening. You guys need me to edit the video about the X-Men game or something like that's happening, right? They are really, really bad, the Infinity films. Yes, thank God. Best Infinity adjacent sort of film. Does that kind of start with Guardians of the Galaxy? That Guardians of the Galaxy, is it surprising that we are still trying to mimic Guardians of the Galaxy around here? It's not the newest thing on the block. And every other movie, it's a rag team of dipshits doing something dumb to save the world. Crazy. Did you ever see Fallen starring Denzel? No, I did not. I have not seen that. Man, I need to see some more things with John Goodman, kind of, because like, I know he got ridiculed for King Ralph, but other than that, aren't most things he in pretty well received when it comes down to it? Like, deceptively so. You know, he was in The Artist. That there's not a lot of movies I want to change my review of, but hell, The Artist and J.J. Abrams' Star Trek, I mean, these are things that cross my mind on occasion. The Artist it has a very clear case for being the most overrated movie. It is just full on, hey, classic Hollywood was amazing, right, critics? Okay, make sure you give us those statues. And that's The Artist. I can't read anymore. That's me. I don't think I can unplug and sit down and read. Because look, even when I'm doing like, oh, I'm in the part editing where I don't need to hear the silence and the cuts and if I got my lines right or not. I have something in my ears. I'm listening to a podcast while I'm doing the other stuff. And I don't know if I could get away from that to just sit down and chill and be like, so once upon a time I found 4 baby turtles and I named them after my favorite Renaissance artists. I don't know if I get there. I can't go back. And imagine how much worse it is for the kids that are growing up in this chaos, right? I like the audiobook. Thank Christ for that technology. I've thought about, hold on, I'm about to sneeze. One thing about me, I have a very manly sneeze.
I'm not sure I understand.
Shut up. I didn't. Where was I? 7 was not overrated. 7 was way better than Silence of the Lambs. Yeah. Brad Pitt's acting was god awful in the box scene. He was okay in the box scene. What's in the box? Like, he was okay. He served to be a little obnoxious, I think, so that you could feel like Not that he deserved to be like the victim this way that he becomes or part of the game. It does make it a little lighter. Like he feels realistic. Morgan Freeman's character was pretty unrealistic. Oh yeah, I like to spend my evenings quiet at the library. Ah yes, we're playing the old classics on the record player. You know, like yeah, come on, somebody step up and defend Seven's honor. Seven is not overrated. Somerset, the detective, is great character and thought out well. Pessimist. You know, my problem with the way it goes down is it's like Somerset is way better than Alex Cross, and yet Alex Cross has to get 2 movies with Morgan Freeman. Another thing, what was it? Tyler Perry, and then we have a show. Detective Somerset was better. Like Alex Cross is just hacky. This is how you sell books type detective. Uh, it was referring to Lucky Number 7, right? 7 was the first film to have that shallow color grading. Damn. I think the look of 7 is often mimicked, but the way we remember 7 may be the way it was originally. I have it had one of the first special DVD releases where it had like multiple discs and it's got like a note. It looks like a notebook that the guy left the notes in and things like that. And they go over digitally color grading scenes, particularly they show an example of it in the box scene out in the field. And I'm trying to recall if when I saw the movie on VHS back in like late 95 or maybe it was 96 at that time, if it looked as vibrant. Because there are like really dark shadows, but the detail's not lost. The colors are vibrant and clear. It has a look to it that I think a lot of movies try to mimic and fail completely. It has a very modern title sequence that was not par for the course back then. The movie is 4 years newer than the Silence of the Lambs. Silence of the Lambs gives you bland white titles across, right? But the 7 gives you like a music video montage, and I point out that Netflix Fear Street was ripping off 7 pretty damn hard, and then I quit watching it because I'm like, well, I can see that they're creatively void, so yeah, all they can do is just rip off 7 right at the beginning of their damn anthology thing. I've seen it, and I did end up watching all of it and thought, it got better, but I'm not into this shit where we have to reference everything. I don't remember Star Wars constantly saying, "Hey, remember that thing?" and like referring to it by name, and Indiana Jones doesn't like name drop shit. And now in modern movies, we have to name drop so that people know what we're referencing and all the damn time. Okay, I was thinking Lucky Number 7. I think you guys made him change his mind. You're referring, yeah. I haven't seen Lucky Number 11. I've heard decent things about it. Sallow means dull and yellowish. I guess I'm not familiar with that word. I wouldn't describe it as dull. Maybe oversaturated in ways. It looked, especially interior scenes in 7, have like the strong tungsten. Not pure. Nothing is white. White colors are straight yellow in that movie, or green, but it doesn't bother me. It's maybe they use gel for everything, or maybe it was color grading. But there was a lot of the David Fincher look is something that I think must be very hard to do. So a lot of times things just get phoned in, like they just shoot the most economical way possible. 7 and Silence of the Lambs were both gratuitous, done for shock value. Try understanding like or conveying the concept of shock value with those movies today where they seem passe, where it's like, oh, okay, like look, surprise and a-hole. That's the people that come after the Zoomers. Way that is the word. I've coined it. It's boomer, Gen X, millennial, Zoomer, a-holes. I don't think an a-hole is shocked by Seven. Oh yeah, well of course the head's in the box, whatever. Can I go play Fortnite? Like that's about it, right? They were the Exorcist of their day, really. I didn't care for the Exorcist a whole lot. I didn't feel like it really had a story. The movie starts out in the Middle East. They look at a statue, and then there's an actress filming a movie with, and it's like, my daughter's possessed. And I'm like, were they conveying that this spirit of something got out in the Middle East and said, where's her soul? Oh, I know. Boston? Was that what happened? It was like, or were they in England? I can't, not that it matters. I thought they were in Boston, but, and then it's like, okay, so they have the special edition and it shows her, she's got like the spider walk downstairs and then just stops because it's like they didn't really write the scene out. That's why they scrapped it, I'm assuming. Okay, so what happens when she gets down the stairs? Well, the audience freaks out, and then we cut to the next day. That's about all they could do. I didn't understand the rules for the possession. None of it really too much sense, really. Seemed. I don't know. I guess people thought that the crass language, little girl, was shocking enough that that helps people lose their lunch and get sick, and then you have to go find out why everybody's waiting in line to see this movie that's making everybody sick, right? And that's really the crux of it, was like the shock value in helping to market the movie. It was the 70s. It was primarily about undermining the religious fuddy-duddies, church ladies, yeah. So there was definitely the shock value in that. Okay, guys, we're coming up on 2 hours. Usually I've been hitting about 90 minutes, but is what that be. I think I've got a lot of Blu-ray Samurai stuff I need to power through. I do the shock drop of the Marvel. Oh, now I have no viewers. Oh, now I have one viewer. I can't tell. The shock drop of Capcom Marvel versus Capcom collection kind of put a bit of a kink in my plans, so I'm gonna have that video, that review of that collection out tomorrow on Saturday. So I'm gonna need you guys to hit that like button on that video so that everybody knows, because it can't be too easy reviewing a game on Xbox that everybody on PlayStation got bored with already. But I'm over here like, no guys, it's new on Xbox, come on, look at my video. And they're like, I don't care, it's old. They're old games and they were out in September on my Nintendo Switch. And I know it's new to Xbox, guys. Keep this thing going. So yes, that video will come out tomorrow. I am going to I've got to edit the podcast. Did a new podcast with Mom today. Even my mom has a podcast available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So I got to get to editing that, put that out before midnight. That is the plan. I wrote a scathing critique of color grading on my Substack. Isn't Substack like everybody has to be it's a paid subscription article thing? Not too much about it. I just find that the color grading inherently is unrealistic. It's a computer and a guy that wasn't there trying to determine what a color should be. So it ends up unrealistic. There was certainly that time where the Blackmagic cameras shooting in RAW had all the damn indie people with no concept of how to color grade. They were putting out the grayest blacks back around 2015, 2016, like all the indie movies were inflicted with gray. Like, I contend that it's a form of sensory deprivation and insidious psyop. No, my Substack isn't paywalled. I don't believe in paywalls. I thought they paywall by nature, like, but that was how a Substack worked. Okay, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. I've got a podcast to get out. Yeah, I actually got my mom to play Marvel vs. Capcom, and we talked on the pod a little bit there. So, and I had her open up my artwork for the my fight stick. I got work to modify the stick. Wait 5 minutes, please. What am I wait? I got a new person here. Moat Tome says wait 5 minutes. What am I waiting 5 minutes for? Because is it like, hold on, I've got a baking, I gotta go, I'll be back in 5 minutes. Is that what I'm waiting 5 minutes for? Also, I mean, like the thing I'm sitting on, my ass gets a little sore. So it's kind of like the 2 hour mark is really tapping out the ass level over here. Is there maybe another trailer I need to check out? I don't know what's happening in the entertainment front as that goes. Daredevil, Born Again, Rebirth for Jurassic Park, Born Again. How come the Fantastic Four can't be like something to do with Bourne, right? Is this a sign that we're getting a Jason Bourne movie? Wow, it says you have 5 viewers now. I see 2, so I don't know how delayed that is. There is some delay, but yeah. The issue being here, pretty sure I get more viewers with the vertical. I think the vertical is actively shown around YouTube in like the shorts feed and stuff. Whereas the other live is like sequestered off. The traditional live, 16:9 widescreen, you run it with OBS, you have all the bells and whistles, you have the good microphone, all of that right there. I'm pretty sure that stuff does not get actively promoted by YouTube. So they would rather you do this. If you have a small audience like myself, this, you got a chance to gain a subscriber. I think that's the idea. Oh, wait a minute. Super Bowl. Who you guys got on the Super Bowl? Who you taking? Let's start a poll. I forgot. I mean, it kind of feels like not a foregone conclusion, but like you know where the NFL wants this to go. Does that make sense? So it feels like, to me, the NFL pulled for the Chiefs to get this far. But, and hold on, tome. I want to know, first of all, what is a moat tome? But I'm giving Moat Tome that 5 minutes. They need the Chiefs to get to the Super Bowl, but they don't need them to win. Okay? You got the Swifties. You had them last year. You've got the make history three-peat thing going. I'm running out of juice on my phone, and I have no way to charge this, also having my mic attached. So FYI, we really do need to wrap this soon. Hold on. Yeah, so how are we doing on the vote here, guys? Okay, I would love to know how to poll to go away once I click on it, but oh, this is awful. The only way I can seem to get that to go down is to, oh, now it wants to go, okay. Moat Tome is a content creator. Surprised we haven't had Jurassic Park shit show from J.J. Lensflare Abrams. What is he up to? Trying to make his daughter like the next big thing in pop music? What is with these girls who clearly cannot sing becoming like the pop queens? Like Billie Eilish, the Hispanic looking girl, with the Plan B contraceptives. She has some kind of catchy songs, but she can't really sing. She talks. She talks during her songs. I forgot her name. Rodrigo. And then this Gracie Abrams, same thing. We have like a talk that gets a producer, and the producer turns it into a song. And J.J. Abrams is just like, funnel money in this. I got to make my daughter like the next Taylor Swift. Can I contact you? I want you to look at something. I am everything and everyone in this world is my MOA. I need your assistance. Yeah, I mean, I guess ask me on Instagram or something. I don't, whatever. I only just found out who Sabrina. Look, I saw a commercial with this Sabrina Carpenter, and I thought, who? And am I wrong, or is she in like? Was she an actress first? Is she maybe in that Yellow Jackets or something? Like, she's like they do this thing now where it's like small time actress becomes pop star. Like Olivia Rodrigo, you're in the streaming series on High School Musical, but now you get to be a pop star. Like, that's what's happening, right? Exactly why I need you on my team. I didn't even think about the dinosaurs to put in my work genius. Okay. I gotta go. My phone's dying over here. I got the low battery warning. We've gone over the time. Moat, you can contact me on Instagram, I guess. It's pretty simple. It's at Von Fry. What does the poll say here? You guys are going Eagles? I think the Eagles will win. Oh, I don't. Sabrina the teenage bitch, yeah. Tweenage bitch, yeah. She's kind of older though. She's like a mid to late 90s birth. Whereas not like, I don't think it's like a 2005 kid, you know, deceptively so. But I'm not pulling for Chiefs or Eagles. I just think the Eagles, they've got the running game. The Chiefs barely win. They get a hell of a lot of help from the refs. How much can the refs really help them this time around? Luck's got to be running out, right? I think the Eagles have the answer for them, but we'll see. The one and only in the world, and everyone in it is my one and only. I don't. Are you AI? Like, what is this? Okay, guys, gotta go. Seacrest. No, wait. Seacrest is like Seacrest out on American Idol. What do I usually say? If you made it this far, wait until marriage. Counseling.